Welcome, everybody, to the Mike O'Mara Show. A big night last night in show business,
Sure
Buzz.
was.
And I know, Oscar, you had a great time watching it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I believe it was the 85th Annual Academy Awards. And fresh off his appearance.
No.
Yes. Seth MacFarlane in our studio. Seth, come in, buddy.
Hooray for Hollywood. Hello, Rob.
How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Mr.
Hi,
MacFarlane.
it's me, Seth MacFarlane.
Are you happy with how you did last night?
I'm delighted. Aren't you?
Well,
Yeah. What a great time it was. All the stars, everyone was there. Right back. We'll be right back on ABC.
yeah, you did a lot of that, didn't you?
Sure, I asked to.
Oh, you asked? I thought maybe they made you do it.
You look, you might turn that music off.
Yes,
for
of
God's
course,
sake.
Seth.
Let me just
Heard
say this
enough of that.
about the Oscar telecast. First of all, I hope you all enjoyed it.
Well,
I did.
I did.
How about that wink?
that was good.
Did you like my wink?
You know what
It's
you do?
very professional.
You do a lot of winking.
I do.
You do a lot of smiling.
Yes, I do.
And boy, you can raise your eyebrows on a punchline.
That's right. Be our guest. Be our guest. What a great show it was.
Yeah, what a showman you are.
I thought it was fantastic.
Really
I did a
enjoyed
little
it.
singing.
Yes, you did.
I did a little dancing.
Yes, you did, and very well,
I'm Seth MacFarlane.
Hey, and you did,
multi-talented.
and you got to be the teddy bear.
Yes, I did. Ted. Ted. We had a little scene with Ted. It was a fantastic night, and I sure hope you all enjoyed it. We'll be right back on ABC.
No, we're not going. We're not on ABC. We're not going anywhere.
Sorry about that.
That's all
but
right.
anyway, it was a fantastic experience, and I'll only do it once. Not because I don't want to come back, but because I've already read my review.
I say, I spoke to my father about your performance.
How
last
is
night.
Horny Bob Spiewak?
He said that you came off as a frustrated song and dance man.
Good for him.
I, on the other hand,
Hi, Buzz.
thought you turned in a great performance
Hello, Oscar.
last night.
Hey.
And hello, Mark.
Howdy.
Everybody's here. I love the Mike O'Mara Show. I'm Seth MacFarlane.
You love everything.
Some
I
of us
sure
love
do.
you.
What I try to do is make my
What,
voice.
you try to what?
I like to do is I try to make my voice as low as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
And then-
I like to flash my store-bought piano key teeth.
You really are. You know what I heard a lot?
Yes.
Is that how dreamy you are.
You know what I
You
heard
are
a lot?
good-looking,
I heard that
man.
on Facebook last night, Mr. Rob Spiewak was as jealous of me as any human being could ever be.
I'm not surprised.
Perhaps,
You were
perhaps
just-
even echoing feelings from this very home.
You were spewing poison, and I heard Mike O'Mara was even more jealous, but only to his wife.
How did she handle that?
She disagreed with him.
Really? She likes him?
And then she said she was having a craving for cookies, and he made them from scratch for her, burned them, and then she made him get up again when he hit his remote, turned the power off on the television, losing 45 minutes of the Oscars, got angry, and told her to F.O. Yes.
well
it
then.
was a great Sunday in the O'Mara house, but I
best.
kept smiling because I'm Seth MacFarlane.
You sure
If you
are.
had to make cookies for your lady friend,
Sure.
how would you do it?
What I do is I'd say, I saw your boobs. I saw your boobs.
Maybe that's
Yes,
not the
I did.
right
I saw
way.
your boobs. Get the guy that was in that movie, the little one with the glasses, Harry Potter.
Oh, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yes, bring him out and bring Joseph Gordon-Levitt out.
Yeah.
And in fact, bring all the gay men out, and we'll have a lovely gay dance.
Well, the gay men's chorus was there
Yes,
from
a
Los
very
Angeles.
gay
Yes.
telecast, which would fall in line with the rumors about me in Hollywood.
Are there rumors about you? I hadn't heard them.
Oh, there are many. They're rampant, you might say. But it keeps me smiling.
Are they true?
I don't know. If I told you that, I'd have to kill you. And incidentally,
There you go
here's a piece of advice for young comedians. When you're hosting the Oscars or doing any kind of stand-up routine, always laugh and smile at your own jokes.
Sure.
But not in a snarky way. Do it in a friendly way.
Right.
Duh.
You know what else was great that you did a lot?
What's that?
Is if you had a joke that you didn't think would work.
Sure.
You would preface it by saying, I thought we cut this one. But then you do it anyway.
Here's a line. That's as bad as it gets. No, it's going to get a lot worse.
Seth MacFarlane.
I'm Seth MacFarlane. Get me William Shatner on the line right now. Hey, William, can you help me through the opening of my 17-minute monologue? My marathon 17-minute monologue.
Well,
That'll be fun.
At least it wasn't self-indulgent.
Well, I know why Rob Spiewak and Mike O'Mara were so jealous of me last
Yes.
night.
Really, why?
Because I am basically everything they're not.
I suspected that.
I'm thin,
Yes.
I'm attractive, and I'm wildly successful.
Yes, you are.
So, do
Yes.
you have any advice for me, Seth?
Yes, I'll tell you what I'd like to do, and this is for Rob Spiewak and Mike O'Mara.
Yes.
After I'm done with this interview, I'm going outside and I'm going to cut my head off.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
She said, first of all,
I want you to juice. I said, okay, juice is not a verb. I don't know what you're talking about. She said, no, for the first month, I want you to cleanse your system. So I want you to drink just juice. I didn't do well with that. She sold me a juicer. Third day, I juiced a ham. She called me up. How you doing? I'm juicing. Let me get this Krispy Kreme in here. We'll be good to go. If you're drinking ham juice and your arm goes numb, wait an hour. I'm not a nutritionist, but that's just how I think you should do it. So this very nice juice lady, she said to me, you have a blocked colon. She said to me, put these herbs in your juice 3 times a day. After a month, your colon will be clean. I don't know what was in the herbs, but I called her about 45 minutes later from the bathroom. Hey, crazy lady, I'm sending back the rest of the herbs. Mission accomplished. My colon's clean. I swallowed a quarter when I was 7. $50 came out.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Cappy Piper Studios. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are downloaded worldwide 17 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're also at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT in Washington, D.C., and the mighty 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Today is Monday, Feb 25. Wow.
Yeah.
And February has flown by.
It's almost time to go to Florida, Mike.
Our program is brought to you by the people that are making it possible for us to go to Florida. The Institute for Liberty and their partner, Fan Freedom.
Fan Freedom.
You want me to read it like Seth MacFarlane? They might.
Please.
I think that'd be good.
Is your right to independently buy and sell tickets under attack? Big corporations, venue managers, and team owners are trying to force you to buy and sell in the markets they choose. That means you have to pay their fees.
How much?
They choose.
Seth.
You know what?
What?
You won't get this anywhere else.
That's
anyway,
so.
that means you have to pay their fees and follow their ridiculous rules. Or ridiculous. The Institute for Liberty and their partners at Fan Freedom are pushing back against these efforts. I know who Seth MacFarlane sounds like.
Who?
Bill Curtis. In Florida, Tennessee, California, and across the country, you bought it, you own it. Protect consumer rights and your property rights. Visit fanfreedom.org.
Oh, he's had to sing it.
Thank you.
I love it.
And learn more about the Institute for Liberty. Like the liberty for me to say, I'd like to see Seth MacFarlane's head explode.
Yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't
No,
it?
you know what? The fact is, I thought about this, and I wanted to talk about it. He's not getting mixed reviews. He's getting more negative reviews than he's getting positive. But at the same time, I don't think, they talk about thankless. I think that is the definition of thankless. I think what I have an issue with is just the overall Oscars telecast. I'm done. I'm not watching that crap anymore.
I have a
It
question
is
for
so
you.
depressing. It is so not entertaining. It's just, it has an occasional moment, maybe a 5-minute moment followed by just self-congratulatory BS, and I don't enjoy it at
Here's
all.
a question. Is it because I'm getting older, or is it because the whole face of Hollywood is changing? Is it more self-congratulatory than ever?
It's more controlled. It's less edgy. It doesn't have the awards telecast. They'll go out and honor a film like Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained, which is, I think, about as edgy cinema as cinema gets, with themes.
Particularly for mainstream, yeah.
Sure, with themes and everything else. But then their awards ceremony is almost overly censored and overly controlled. And nobody really, everybody's got the formula of thanking the shopping list of people.
Yeah,
and
I hate that part.
For the quality of the films that we had, I thought the Oscar telecast was just... by the end of that, and I don't feel this way about the Golden Globes or even the Emmys or anything like that. I usually like watching award shows. This just leaves me cold. I just go, yeah, it's so safe.
Kind of an opposite reaction this
Really?
year. I've traditionally said, I've always said I hate award shows.
Right.
I actually enjoyed last night.
I enjoyed it as well.
And I'll give you a couple of reasons why. One, I thought it really harkened back to old show business a little bit, which I don't normally gravitate to, but I thought it was sort of attractive on last night's program. Shirley Bassey and Barbara Streisand, for example.
I love.
She was a little flat in spots,
but I love that moment.
Yeah, it was
because anybody that said, what's that, 1968? That movie came out.
earlier than that.
Earlier than that.
But that
65,
song
65.
holds up, and everybody loves it.
And she came out and she did that, and I enjoyed that part. mean, that's the definitive James Bond song.
It sure is.
And
That was cool to see.
And she's still alive and she's singing it. I thought that was cool.
I thought it was really nice of ABC to hire the first time. This is really progress. They've never hired a deaf person to do the audio mix before.
I noticed that too.
Absolutely.
Astoundingly bad.
I mean, and that's unfortunately with the new producers who I think were long on, let's get the dancers.
Yeah, they like that.
And short on the. But, you know, that's not their fault. That's that guy, Mishner, or is it Missner, who's been doing it for, a very long time. Yeah,
right.
So that's on him. And all their some of their musical numbers where they're completely overshadowed by the over-mic'd orchestra. And,
yeah, that was interesting, though, having them in a different building.
That happens once, and then you fix that after it.
What was that about? Did you? I thought
I didn't even know.
I
It was
thought
about
it was
space.
a joke when they did it. Do you know that the band, the orchestra, was in the Capitol Records building,
Several blocks away.
See, that's stupid.
That's dumb.
I thought it sounded pretty good.
I really thought that was a joke.
Hold on.
I didn't notice
You
the
thought
difference.
you guys didn't hear the mix.
Yeah, no.
yes.
Sometimes the
You're
mix-
not watching the same
Wait,
television
wait,
show,
some-
and you lost all credibility with me if you didn't.
Sometimes the mix was bad, and that was done back at the theater. But
But the mix was done more often than not. All of their musical numbers were over, especially the ones that Seth MacFarlane did, were completely blown away right till the very end when they did the tribute
But
to the
it
losers.
was whoever was doing the mix back at the theater who was responsible for that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that's something that you figure out after the fact.
Yes,
As
please.
you go. Yeah,
You do one, and
No,
then
the
you go-
audio was badly mixed.
It was terrible.
Well, I guess when I watch it, I just want to be entertained. I'm not nitpicking at everything that happens.
I'm not.
I enjoyed the Shatner bit. I enjoyed when he danced, but I'm a Family Guy fan. That was like a Family Guy show.
If you're a Family Guy fan, then you're going to like Seth MacFarlane. I'm not putting this really as much as I'd really like to, and that would be the cheap thing to do. And I think they're piling on Seth MacFarlane a little bit.
Yeah,
today.
I do too.
I think the format of the show is just it's gotten too safe. They attacked Ricky Gervais for coming out and doing what I, as a huge movie fan, like to see. I want to see these rich people that have all their wildest dreams come true.
Yes.
I want to see a guy come out and really get some funny one-liners out on them, and he didn't do that.
Really,
and
I
that
thought he was pretty edgy.
Well, how was he edgy? What did he say that was? I mean, really, really edgy. Did he say anything that really would put somebody off like Ricky Gervais?
They were things that wouldn't have been tolerated a few years ago at the Oscars. Certainly, I mean,
Like what?
I give examples. I guess talking about the song about "I Saw Your Boobs" to a certain extent, and actually naming celebrities. He said I can't remember all of them, but he lampooned.
The one joke he's getting a
cheap
lot of
laugh, as far as I was
he
concerned.
lampooned at least a dozen.
That was
Sorry.
very, very Family Guy-ish to take that cheap route.
But that was a Family Guy bit, and I didn't mind that. What I want more of, it's just for me. What makes it boring for me is that it's just the gold standard for me. And I think Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did
Yes.
the Golden
Everyone
Globes
agrees.
was really kind of making the edgy the comment that they made about Anne Hathaway, where I haven't seen you that lost and alone since you hosted the Oscars with James Franco.
Right.
That's a great dig,
Right.
and that's a beautifully written dig, and it's just these people are at the top of their game.
Yes.
You can take shots at them, and it's not in bad taste, and it's very, very funny. And I thought that outside of a couple of moments, the boob song was not necessarily singling out any actresses for ridicule.
No, that's true. But I really, throughout the show, I thought he did jokes that lampooned.
Give me an
specific
example.
stars. I can't remember.
Then
right
don't
now.
say it.
He said when he addressed Ben Affleck for not being nominated and being forgotten by the Academy. That was kind of a throwaway, but then funny. But
That
no
was a
one really
burn.
laughed. It
but
was kind of a
really
burn.
not, and also not really. Yeah, but safe. It's not. What my point is I think what I'd like to see to make the viewers be more entertained.
Take them down
is-
a peg.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Well, see,
what we want to see out in TV land now. That's what to me
Well,
makes a great host. Even Billy Crystal did it better
Yeah.
than Seth MacFarlane did.
I don't know. Again, I'm not apologizing for
And-
Seth MacFarlane. I thought this is the most entertaining Academy Awards that I've cared for in the past 5
I
years.
agree.
Okay, if you think that, but I'm saying for me, I don't know. We were watching a different show, because I thought.
And they also
really,
said
it's
that
a big
they were
yawn,
trying
man.
to skew the show younger because they want the 18 to 49 crowd.
If they
And
want
they-
to skew it younger, cut the music numbers and bring it in 3 hours.
Yeah.
because it
should be
It
shorter.
was sadly over last night.
And
38 minutes.
It's funny you bring that up because they didn't do that. They are
Which was
talking-
shocking to
They're
me.
talking about how woefully inadequate the show was for a appealing to young viewers that they went old Hollywood. They went the opposite way.
You know what's funny is that as I'm watching the Academy Awards, I look at my girlfriend and I'm like, "Do you want to watch this with me?" And she said, "No." She goes, "That's for old people." And she and I said, "No, look, I enjoy them. Seth MacFarlane's hosting." She's like, "Oh, really?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's not my thing. Old people watch that." And she walked right into the bedroom and watched.
I might
Netflix.
be
Because
done.
only old people go to the movies.
I really liked, the recaps today, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to waste the time again because it really puts me in kind of a depressing mood. I don't care.
It's
what
nearly,
depressed you about
nearly
it?
a telethon commitment now. It's 4 hours.
Too long.
It's so long, and it's just wading through self-congratulatory stuff. I know the movies work with sound editing, and I know the movies work with foreign animated films. I don't care. Carla, at one point when I'm going through TiVo and I was fast-forwarding it, and she said, "You're fast-forwarding through the whole show." I said, I'm not going to watch categories I don't care about with people that are thanking people I don't know.
I did that.
From people that I don't
I did
know.
some
What if
skipping.
they go the route
watched
of
the
the
whole thing.
Grammys this year,
Jesus.
where the Grammys, I think, only awarded 6 actual awards during the ceremony?
And it is an entertain. It's a
Wait,
show.
If
It
you're
is a show.
fast forwarding through the show, you're not getting the whole grasp of the actual show. You're just seeing what you want to see.
Well,
I watched the whole thing from beginning to end, and I enjoyed the program.
You mean you're saying if I labored through the best sound
There
editing
are
creative
jokes. You didn't see the introductions if you didn't see the best sound editing.
I watched
every
the
time Seth MacFarlane was on there.
I watched the introductions. I watched you want your minds. You mind your P's and Q's.
I'm just
mister.
saying.
I watched the introductions. I didn't watch when I say. And now the nominees for best sound editing are
move through that.
are Pico Skorsgaard
Right.
from Vida Vudaba, and he wants to thank Ben Levin and Sissy Balago, and stuff like that.
You laugh, but Ben Levin is great.
The
Thank
musical,
you.
some of the musical numbers I thought were very, very cool. I like when a big star, I'll give you an example, like Adele,
Oh, she's huge.
gets up. Jesus.
Did you see her with Kristen Chenoweth in the pregame? God, it looked like 2 different species.
Oh, the pregame was horrible.
It looked to me as though
That pre-show was atrocious.
she got emotional, and I love that.
Yeah, that was good.
I love it when they thank
When she
their-
sang, it was amazing.
I don't care
She
about
almost
their
overcame
publicists.
the sound mix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
so-
care about their publicists. I want to see them thank their boyfriends, their husbands, their moms.
lot of
That's
that.
what I want to see. I don't want to see the shopping list of
Agreed.
publicists.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I don't care.
Lawyers.
And
Who cares?
And those
Yeah.
people are getting paid.
Right.
They don't need to.
Mike-
and they
Mike-
didn't do the work that got awarded.
I want to thank my team at CAA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boo.
Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer.
Duh.
Yeah, keep falling down.
You're nominated. Prepare a little something. God, she was a dope when she got, and I was delighted that she won because I thought she deserved to win the eye. I really thought she was
I
still
think
one of the
tripping
best.
probably threw her off her game for the speech.
Yeah, yeah.
Those moments, her tripping, I want to see that live,
Right.
And I want to see how she reacts to it. If she reacts to it like a teenager or a girl in her 20s,
I thought
that's how she reacts.
I thought it was
to
a great line when she got up there and she said, "The only reason you're standing up is because
Yes.
I tripped, and that's
Yes.
embarrassing." And then it was just, I don't know. What I like is raw. I thought the most dignified, classiest speech was Daniel Day-Lewis. He was a little funny, talking about
Very
how
funny, I
overblown, and
Yeah,
then
but he
that was
scares me.
terrific. He should. That's why he's a great
He
actor.
That's
is
right.
quite possibly the most intense person on earth, and his wife, I expected her to hold up a message to the camera. Help me.
So overall, it just was for me. It was blah. You guys thought who thought it was you thought it was the best,
Best
you've ever
one in
seen?
5
Yeah,
years.
same here.
it was
Have
5
you
years.
watched all the ones in the
Yes.
5 years?
I love
Okay.
watching them.
So you thought it was the best.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais. Well,
That's
I,
the Golden
that's
Globe,
the
so it's
Globe.
not the Oscars.
Yeah, but
right?
as far as his hosting duties, I always felt like what you do at the Golden Globes isn't. I always felt like the Academy Awards were a little more conservative.
and classier.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's not going to be. You can't get Ricky Gervais
I know.
in the Oscars.
That's why I'm bored by it.
Oh, okay.
It's just
you can't. I don't compare the two.
It's and I like. I really just like, as Rob said, I like to see him taken down a peg.
Yep.
And I thought Seth MacFarlane, was up there. You don't laugh and smile after every single joke.
No, he does.
You don't.
He absolutely does.
Rob and I were on the same page with that because you're up there and you tell a joke that's like sort of funny but not really, and then you laugh and smile, and I'm like,
He's
he laughed-
taking the easy way out every time.
He laughed and smiled at every single joke he
like
said.
when he
and-
writes that cartoon.
And it was okay. I'm not going to completely pan the guy because I kind of thought
there has been worse.
There have been worse.
Yeah, Franco and Hathaway were worse.
And I thought that the anytime William Shatner's involved in anything, it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And
even disinterested Shatner,
but
which we got last night.
Now this would qualify as nitpicking. I thought that bit was covering his ass.
Oh, absolutely.
How so?
Yes, of course.
He does a bit on how he's going to be panned.
It's the same thing
Right.
as saying, "Oh my God, I thought we cut that joke." It's diffusing the bad review before it happens.
But that's why
Exactly.
I think that's a good move for him.
It probably is for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Not-
him.
not
'cause he
necessarily
knew.
for the viewer.
He
However-
knew he was going to get panned, and I think he preempted it as the best he could.
What would
Yeah.
be a
Which
better
sucks.
move?
Which completely sucks to me because it takes no balls.
I also
What
think
would
that's
be
why
a-
he laughed after certain jokes, was to soften them, to make it sound more friendly and less mean.
See,
Whether
that's-
it's right or wrong,
and
that's
that's
what
garbage.
he was doing.
a better move is to be funny.
Amen.
If you can do it.
Well,
the
look-
one joke he's getting the most grief for is the Lincoln getting inside Lincoln's head joke. And if you think about it, his big shocking joke was about a guy who was shot 250 years ago, 200 years
And
ago.
he made that clear. He's like, "You guys are pissed about that."
Yeah, exactly. But still, that's really, if he could take some of that energy and direct it at Christoph Waltz, now I'm laughing.
Yeah, and he did kind of a gay joke too, because anybody that's doing a joke based on the sound of music,
Yes.
is and that was, even though that fell completely flat, I thought
Well, they
it
were
was
trying to-
kind of silly and kind of funny.
Trying to skew younger, Mike, by recreating something from 1964.
But I think the fact that the audience gasped at some of his jokes or didn't laugh at some of them indicate that they were slightly offended, which indicates that he was slightly edgy, which is something, I remember Dave Letterman got in trouble for doing Oprah, Oprah, and there was nothing edgy about that.
Yeah, and that just sucked.
Yeah, that
right.
was bad.
But the thing about, and he was slightly edgy. I agree. I give you that. I think
Yeah.
he was slightly
and,
edgy.
and I also thought relaxed and professional, albeit somewhat phony, as you've pointed out.
Yeah, and self-serving a little bit with the whole
Smarmy.
thing. What I had said on Friday, Rob had said, Rob didn't waste any time. Rob hates Seth MacFarlane.
I know.
Rob said that he thought he was going to suck. I said if he came out and had great material and just delivered it, he'd kill. Well, he didn't do that.
he preempted,
He
yeah.
did the shtick
Yeah.
and he did the. And he had a few lines, but Amy Poehler and you guys, there's a
I know.
formula.
You're right, though.
There's a formula out there to get phenomenal
But are they-
reviews.
It's them.
And the formula is you get phenomenal comedy writing.
Yep.
And it is not that difficult to do. You're out there in the land of genius comedy
You would
writers,
think,
and you
yeah.
just get out there and rattle it off. And if you don't have good material, you have to resort to all the little tricks that he did. And listen, I'm not saying you have to be Ricky Gervais, but I'm saying you could be Amy Poehler and Tina Fey and get out there and just go right down the shopping list of movies, and you're going to laugh, and you do it in 10 minutes or maybe 8 minutes,
Right.
and then you move on with the show, and it could be very true. And if you want to do a little shtick in between,
Yeah.
after the ceremony starts, it's fine. I don't think it's a difficult formula, and I thought he is getting mixed reviews
Yes.
today because
Mostly negative.
mostly negative because he didn't do that. That's my only point.
You mentioned, I know you'd have no great love for Billy Crystal, but he
Right.
does something, is he kept writers backstage, notably the beautiful Bruce Valanche.
Right.
But the thing is I don't think there was a single joke that Seth MacFarlane did that wasn't written a week out. And there was
totally agree
no,
with you.
and that's the thing. If you're doing a live event, and he loved mentioning last night that it was live,
Right.
you can react to the
He
situation.
didn't reference anything, did
No,
he?
aren't we
the
all-
whole thing could have been canned, and I'd like to see. God bless him. He did the greatest job that he can do. But react to what's going on. Live in that moment, and I think that's where another thing that lost me.
I am not a jealous person. I'm proud of that. I don't get jealous of people. I actually celebrate their goodwill and what's happened to them and their success.
Here's Oscar Santana with counterpoints.
No, I was a bit jealous though. I was like, that man can dance.
Yeah.
That man can sing.
That's why we all hate
that
him.
man is a billionaire in his own right because
Right.
he's got all that money, that Family Guy money. He didn't have to do this. He just did it because that's kind of what he did when he throws his own Hollywood parties. That's when I actually wrote about it when they were panning him. They said, I've been to Seth MacFarlane's parties. I love going to his parties. I felt like I was one of his parties. He has big bands that he hires. He sings at his parties. That's what he does, but he did it for 1 billion people
Mike
last
does
night.
that too.
Yeah, he
Mike
does.
would do that if he could.
Right.
Mike would do
Mike
that if he
has
could.
done it.
Yeah.
Mike can sing.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yes, he can.
Mike doesn't look like Seth MacFarlane.
No.
Better, I'd say.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Dan?
God
Nice.
damn it,
Very
thank you.
nice.
I thought that I don't know. Maybe it was. I kind of was disappointed. I didn't mention this part. Kind of disappointed in the awards themselves. I didn't. My favorites didn't win.
Yeah, our picks didn't come through.
I was a huge Lincoln guy, and I thought, outside of Daniel Day-Lewis, Lincoln kind of got the big like that. And then I thought about Quentin Tarantino, and the only issue I had with Django, I was really glad to see Tarantino get the screenplay award because Quentin Tarantino writes. And people, I think, in history is going to judge him by what he's done. He made reference to that.
Yes.
And I think that he writes that way. You've got movies like Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs that, among his fans, you just remember the stuff that he's written. And you will remember those lines for a long time.
But is he such a good writer that he doesn't need to tie his tie?
That's the way he looks. And you know what?
That's how he rolls.
I think Tarantino also is kind of still insecure, which makes him attractive
Lovable,
to me.
yeah.
He goes, "Hey, I got the award from my neighbor. I live next to Charlize Theron."
That was great.
That was kind of cool too. So he deserved that. Christoph Waltz, on the other hand, it's the exact same character we saw in Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that was fair to the other supporting actor nominees
Right.
for that. We'll continue our discussion with the Oscars. You're listening to the Mike O'Mara Show. We'll be right back.
I wanna peel back. I wanna feel that my future's still coming.
We're back. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Warby Parker. Stop paying iPhone prices for prescription eyeglasses.
Yeah.
Get better-looking glasses for a fraction of retail. Go to warbyparker.com, where glasses start at $95. These are fashion-forward glasses and sunglasses. Every pair is complete with anti-glare, anti-reflection coatings, and polycarbonate lenses at no extra cost. You can try up to 5 pairs with free shipping. To find the right pair for you, go to warbyparker.com and select your 5 favorites. Get even faster free shipping with the code TMOS. Try them 5 days, keep your favorite, and send the rest back, again with free shipping. We've all ordered glasses and sunglasses from Warby Parker. You should too. Details are found at warbyparker.com. And if you go into a regular eyeglass store and pay $600 in some cases to get your glasses, you're going to want to check out warbyparker.com because they have amazing deals on fashion-forward glasses you will love. Use the code TMOS to get fast free shipping, and we thank you in advance for doing that. So to wrap up the whole thing with the Oscars, Oscar and Buzz loved the show. Rob and I didn't so much. I don't think you kind of hated it more than I did, but I was just depressed about many different facets of it. I didn't like some of my folks didn't win, and I didn't like that.
I will say with hesitancy, I will say he wasn't as bad as I thought he could have been.
There were moments that made me laugh. For example, the shtick. Now I say in the opening, I don't want to see shtick. I want to see the monologue, and I just want to see material delivered.
Right.
Some of the bits within the show actually did make me laugh. The Flying Nun made me laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't not make
Sally
fun of an
Field was
aging
great.
actress. That's still it's trite, but it is.
But you know
it is
what?
funny.
She made it work.
Yes, she
Sally
did.
Field made
Yes,
it
You
work.
she
hate
did.
him.
I do so bad.
Why do you hate him so much?
We've already said it.
Because
Well,
he's
he's
everything
thin,
you're not.
attractive,
Yeah, everything we want to
talented,
be, yeah.
multi-talented,
Yeah.
rich.
What an ass.
Yeah, what's to like?
I wish, watching it, I wish I could track more with him as a Family Guy, fan. I'm not a Family Guy fan because I just don't watch animated that often.
Right.
I really don't watch it. But you watch it all the time,
Yeah.
right? And you love that show.
I've loved that show since it's come out.
I'm hot and cold on Family Guy. I mean, I think it has great moments and moments that make me uncomfortable.
So it overall, I think it's a big bowl of okay.
Yeah.
But my God, can we all at least agree on one thing, that they've got to shorten that time?
Oh yeah, amen.
Yeah.
Unanimous on that.
Jesus. Also on the show today, a wonderful exchange that we will get to post-haste.
Good.
With Carla over the weekend that I know all of you boys in this room and certainly the listeners will enjoy.
Will relate to this
Because there's nothing a lot of people love more on this show than when old Mike gets knocked down a peg.
Oh dear.
See,
And
this
he
is
did.
this would have been good on the Oscars.
So much stuff happened to me this weekend.
You had yourself a big weekend.
My daughters, God love them, both went out. I took them to the store because they had to get uniforms for their new job.
Oh.
And so we were out at the local Manassas department store, and I will share. I will share a phenomenon.
What is the Spanish word for department store?
Stop it.
there isn't
Stop
one.
it. Don't read ahead. I will share with
Llantas
you.
usadas.
I will share a clothing phenomenon. I do not know if this exists just in Manassas,
Okay.
but it is something both my daughters pointed out to me,
Oh, dear.
and hilarity ensued. Let's see. Final preparations for Florida. Something, and this happened with one of my other daughters, too, at a local diner. Something a waitress should never do. Tell you about something.
You must get right to those.
Okay. And let me see. Are the Hawks waiting for Frankie? Guys, I'm not making this stuff up. Saturday, I have Frankie.
They're getting hungrier, Mike.
Bright and early Saturday morning, Carla asked me if I'll take the dogs out in the backyard. I don't put them on a leash, and I walk out with Frankie, and overhead there are two. And it is as though it's like, there he is.
They've been waiting.
There he is. Let's go get him. We're going to get him right now. It was, it was like, there he is. He's out in the backyard. We're going to grab him right now, boys. And it was.
You distract Chubby.
I'll get the dog. Have any of you, you guys come here every day. Have any of you seen the Hawks that I'm talking
I
about?
have
Not here, no.
I don't
no.
approach from the back,
Okay,
so I don't see them.
I'll the next time it happens, I'm going to bring one of you guys out there and go, there they are, because you'll see these are not
Heckle and Jekyll.
They are.
Do you think
big birds? Big birds of prey?
Could you diffuse the situation by tossing them some meat?
I think I would make it worse.
Yes.
If they got-
that would make it
If
worse.
they associated meat with my backyard, then suddenly it would be goodbye. Frankie would be a first-class air travel.
Because I was going to
Exactly.
say, what about if the meat had been altered?
Frankie would be taking it.
I can't
that
do that.
might be a crime.
Rob, that is a crime. Poison the birds.
Just spitballing. It was Seth MacFarlane's idea.
No, I think no meat at all.
Damn.
And I risk the without having them on a leash rather. I risk the chance that Frankie's going to fly to heaven on Talon Airlines.
Oh, dear.
I'm a little worried about
First
that.
class.
You're in good claws with that one.
The end of the Daytona 500. My tribute to NASCAR again.
Another yawn.
Jesus, God, how can people watch that? Anyway, a tribute to those who've left us at the Oscars. We didn't mention that, and I'll get to that because I have had the pleasure of in studio meeting these people in person and interviewing both of them, and I want to say a thank you to that. Rob's marshmallows and Oscar goes to a baby shower. But you guys, Carla and I are driving. I think Friday afternoon. We are driving back from a lovely Chipotle lunch. Thank you. And we have this discussion. We're doing a lot of baby talk since we found out.
But not talking like babies.
No, I'm not going.
Thank you.
Chipotle, baby.
Don't do
You
that
hungry?
kind of
Did you
baby
want a
talk.
burrito?
Chipotle.
And as we're, many baby conversations, I'm jacked up. The latest cool move.
Sure.
Up in my office, I've got my Red Sox memorabilia, and we're moving stuff around in the house. We're moving a nursery here, and we're changing rooms, and I'm kind of blown out of my office, and my girls are going to be in my office.
You're
now.
sleeping in separate rooms with
But
Carla
I have all my memorabilia up there, and Carla says, that Red Sox stuff, you might as well move that into the baby's room now. And I just had a moment. I just had a moment, one of these moments now where, oh my God, that's just how many of these am I going to have? I mean, this
That's
is a
cute.
blessing.
Yeah.
I'm super
Gonna have
psyched.
a lot of them.
If I could just get myself healthy and not die before the baby's 5.
Fingers crossed.
So we're doing that, and as we're driving back from Chipotle, I say to Carla, the baby's a little over, over the normal weight, like by just a fraction. But I think the baby's going to be a nice, big, strong baby, and I think the baby's going to be an athlete. And Carla says, "Really? Why do you say that?" I said, "Well, because you're athletic and I'm athletic." And Carla was taking a sip out of her, the reaction Carla had was,
Spraying? Was there spraying?
So I look over at Carla and I said, I said it again. I said, no, I mean, like you're athletic, you work out all the time, and I'm kind of an athlete.
You meant to be funny.
Carla
right?
goes into gales of laughter.
I don't
said,
think you meant to be funny.
No, I was really being serious. I said, I think the baby will be athletic, Carla, because you're strong, and I think you didn't play a lot of sports in high school, but I think and I've got athletic qualities.
What?
So it just went on and
And then
on.
did you go on and did you say something perhaps like, and Carla, I think the baby will be patient because
I think the baby will have a lot of
you're
patience.
patient and I'm patient.
I think the baby, and I think really because you're a very calm woman, and Lord knows I don't have a temper either. She got very, very.
I don't think the baby will be an alcoholic because you don't drink and I don't drink.
Oh,
dear. I think really the baby will have a tremendous amount of willpower, Carly, because we know you have tremendous willpower, and I have tremendous self-control.
What the hell are you doing?
Is that De Niro? Is that De Niro? That's De Niro's laugh there.
You know, Carla, I think the baby is going to love Seth MacFarlane because you like Seth MacFarlane and I love Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Oh, is that Katie?
It's Katie.
There you go. I think the baby will be a wonderful driver because in traffic, obviously you have patience, and I certainly have patience. It goes on.
Exactly.
How many of those do you have?
32.
We could do it for the whole room.
We could, yeah.
Right. I hope the baby has the powers of Buzz's concentration. I don't know what that meant.
No one knows.
Yeah. I think the baby, and the baby won't argue like Oscar. The baby won't argue. The baby won't care about dollars like Mark Ronick. The baby will have self-control like Rob Spiewak. The baby will be as sensitive as a CBS executive.
That made me laugh.
But most importantly, the baby will be an athlete, like Mike O'Mara is an athlete. Thank you very much. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. So save those.
Oh, there's nothing like a laughing baby.
Hey, can you play that one? Can you play that one again?
Sure.
Hey, baby Michael, your daddy's an athlete.
Oh, look at the future.
But you were referring to your athleticism as a younger man.
I was. Yeah. Not that I was.
All those years ago.
I look. I got cut from JV baseball.
Yes.
I made my varsity hockey team. I lettered in hockey. I played on my tennis team, and
Yeah.
and in my adult life, I skated with the Washington Capitals alumni
That's
hockey
true.
team.
Gathering speed.
Gathering speed. Yeah. Let's be honest. I was out there for the. How did they? Let's ask the hockey players how they responded when Mike O'Mara would take the ice for the Washington Capitals alumni.
Hilarious!
How many? Did you use them all?
Let's see. I can just run through them real quick if
Okay,
you want.
go ahead.
Here's this is Adam West.
What?
Jerry Lewis. Tom Hanks. Peanuts. Harvey Korman, Mel Brooks. Justin Bieber. Clay Aiken. Dr. Hibbert. Let's see. Cape Fear. Bart and Homer we did. Ann Curry. The French.
Anyway.
Oh, shut up. French guy. Beyonce. Bruce Springsteen. This was my favorite one I found. The Crazy Evil Laugh. We have Miss Danvers from Support Your Local Sheriff. Family Guy. That's great, isn't it?
That's Seth MacFarlane. He's so
That's
good.
about it. Yeah, maybe there'll be more later, Mike.
Did you guys see the? As much as I am not a Donald Trump fan, they are teasing The Apprentice beautifully on NBC.
Oh, with the clips, yeah.
Did you see the Gary Busey clip?
Yes.
That he's back.
I can't believe he's back.
It's just, I mean, it made me want to tune into the show because he is such a lunatic. He's a real crazy
And you know
person.
what? He really knows how to wrap himself around it because unless he is really certifiable and should not be walking the streets, he's
Which may
playing
be the
himself.
case.
That could be the case. Either that or he's positioning himself just right.
Exactly.
He got the eyes that don't go the right way.
Just let Gary be Gary.
Scary stuff.
It was, it was a fun weekend. It is fun to speculate on, the different things about about having a son.
Yeah.
It's just it's a lot different. The girls are psyched. Everybody's kind of psyched that it's going to be a boy. I'm kind of obsessed with the idea myself, and that was just a real moment. She literally almost spit her drink out when I suggested, yeah. Well, I've got quite a bit of natural athletic ability too.
When you called me about that on Friday, you had just almost regained your breath.
Yes.
Because you were still laughing about it.
When we come back, a little bit about the Zit. Going to the diner in the Zit and going to the department store in the Zit. What a town we live in. We'll be back with more. This is the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. Peter Gunn theme on the Mike O'Mara Show. We are brought to you this segment by ScoreBig.com. It is a great time of year for live sports and live shows. Oscar and I had a fantastic time last Thursday with our Score Big tickets.
Great tickets.
I'm here to tell you,
Athletes love going to sporting events.
they deliver, yes, natural athletes. Nothing I enjoy more than getting my Score Big tickets and watching my peers on the ice.
My equals and my betters.
You'll save up to 60% on the best tickets here and across the country. Everything on ScoreBig.com is below box office price, and there are never any fees. No matter what you want to see, go to ScoreBig.com, enter our code, that wonderful code, TMOS, and get an extra $15 off on your first order. That's on top of your 60% savings. You'll never pay box office prices again. Go to ScoreBig.com and use our code TMOS. Pretty good seats we had.
I loved them.
Wonderful. Pretty good seats we had.
They're really good.
Seats, they were. Good view we had. Hockey team. Way to go, Caps. Caps
I am.
kicked a little ass over the
Oh, you're
weekend.
back in?
I'm back. Well, I'm always in.
He's always in.
I watch them when they lose. I just say they suck. When they
just
suck, I
sad,
say they
but-
suck.
Are
But
you
I go
seeing
to
a
every.
turnaround?
It's like a Red Sox fan, you know.
Okay.
See, don't. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking now. One thing I'll always do. I'll bitch till my face is blue.
Yeah.
But I will be there.
Yeah.
You see,
That's
Never
true.
loyal.
like
You were
I was.
there.
I was
Happy
there.
or unhappy.
We
You've
were
s-
there. We were there.
You've seen
I
me.
wanted to leave.
You've seen me
You were
yelling.
there.
You've
Yeah,
seen me
yeah.
yelling, but I'm there.
You're
and
passionate.
But I'll tell you, I did pop for some Score Big tickets to take the daughters on Tuesday night.
Nice.
Excellent.
That'd be
And
good.
Carla is making a very valid point, saying, we no longer have the money to do that. And I said, yeah, but with the Score Big tickets, at least I'm getting a discount.
What a deal.
Exactly.
Well
Yeah, so
done.
I'm going to use that little parking secret you have.
There
that
you
no
are.
one will ever know about. I told Carla about it over the weekend.
Do you see the team turning around?
The way they looked the other day, no.
Sheer luck.
Thank you very much. Okay, notes on the Deviltown Zit
Yes,
Manassas,
please.
Virginia.
Welcome to Zit.
Do you want to hear the observation that my daughters hit me to in the department store, or do you want to hear the literal conversation that we had with the waitress?
Diner.
Which is diner.
Diner first and then the other one.
Okay, I wrote this down, and this is because it's true. Something a waitress should never do.
Okay.
A waitress at a diner in Manassas who came to our table, engaged us in conversation, and began talking about her health issues.
Oh, yes.
No, really?
Yes.
And specifically, I am not kidding here, her constipation.
That's wonderful.
Her constipation, and I was sitting there. Now,
What is
fortunately,
wrong with people?
Fortunately, it came down to we were having a diner meal, and we
Is it one of your favorite diners?
It's one that we don't go to. I've never gone there for dinner.
Really?
And we went there with Elizabeth, and Carla's like whacked because she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So she gets these ideas about what
Cravings.
she wants to do, and I kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
And during the week, Carla's really good about keeping me on
Sure.
my program and actually making sure that I don't do the wrong things. And on the weekends, it's up to me to just behave around her likes and her dislikes.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, take the cookies home that I had to bake from scratch for her yesterday.
Mike O'Mara's baked from scratch constipation cookies.
Here you are. And I'm sitting there, and it's Elizabeth and Carla on one side of the booth, and I'm sitting on the other side. And we had finished our dinner, and she comes over, and I don't know how it started, but it was
Can
something.
you put her in an age range?
It was,
or-
55, 60.
so career woman.
And large woman, and I will not mention the venue, and I won't mention all the details to protect
Protect
this woman's
innocent.
privacy. But I will say that I look up at Elizabeth as this woman starts going, yeah, and the problem with this medication I'm on right now is that I'm complete.
God.
And I'm looking up, and I'm going, is she really, where I am just finishing my dinner, is she talking about not being able to take a dump?
Awkward.
Is she? It's like, wow, certainly hope that the old dam doesn't break like while we're sitting in the booth.
That's right. Another cheese sandwich?
They shouldn't do that. I've encountered a waitress who talked about health issues before. Not that serious, I don't think.
What you need to know, you need to hope that your waitress, I don't begrudge her not having that she ails, but
so
she
nasty.
needs to present the image of someone who's in perfect health.
Exactly.
Because she is the liaison between you and your dinner.
We're so far beyond presenting the image of perfect health.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you.
I've tried everything on the menu.
I'm going to give her a free pass on that and just say, how about we just don't specifically talk about the lack of defecation at the table.
I assume you didn't have the hot fudge sundae for dessert.
There was
a lot
I'll
of
tell
cheese.
you, if there had been a thought of dessert, that would have been thrown out the window at that particular point.
God.
The only moment that was close to that was another diner experience. This is over a decade ago. My buddy Randall and I, we had a band gig and went to the Route, the Route 29 diner. You know where that is.
Yeah.
Is there
I've
back?
been there.
The Tasty Diner.
Yeah, and we ordered our food, and there was one waitress there, and there's a waitress that used to work there that I said looked like Charles Lawton.
I know exactly
from
who you
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
And she was more of a cook than a waitress.
More of a cook,
yeah.
But she was like doing double duty with the dishwasher,
right?
And we ordered our food, and then she was gone. She was like, we didn't know where she was. And I said to the guy in the back, I said, "Do you know where our waitress is?" And the guy pointed at the that door that's down at the right side, which is the restroom,
yeah.
the unisex restroom. And at that point is when Randall and I started having a discussion about. She's been in there way too long to just be
healthy,
to not be playing the deuce of diamonds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And maybe she went in there to pass away.
No, she
emerged.
Well, the word pass was involved.
I understand.
But I think away is not how I would use
no.
it. And she rolled out of there. Similar kind of constitution that the waitress we had the other night.
That healthy glow?
No, it involved, it involved the discussion of health and just, and the meds that I'm on, one of the problems is it binds you up. And when those words,
you don't want to hear that from family members.
No discretion.
When those words came out, I said, I've never been more blessed to have a conversation, please, after we ate.
Yeah.
If that conversation had happened before we ordered, I swear to God, I would have thrown up.
I haven't had a solid bowel movement in 2 days. Would you like some more bread?
Exactly.
It was great. The other thing, and this is a real quickie, so the girls have to get black shirts and black ties and black tuxedo pants. That's their, all the black on black, which is a lot of restaurants use that. And congratulations to my little worker bee.
Are they working as Jamie Foxx now?
Catherine's got a job. Elizabeth's got to get her little work permit,
awesome.
And then she's going to enter the workforce too. And I wish her good luck. Catherine got the job yesterday. They gave her a test run, and she didn't drop anything. So I guess
good.
I guess she's hired. So my little worker bee. So I took him out and I said, "Listen, I'll get your stuff." And we go to the local department store, and Elizabeth says to me, "Dad, look at that." I said, "What?" Because I'm just in kind of that mode. Just get what you need. You need
get out of here.
You need a boy's shirt. I know it's a button-down boy shirt. Whatever. Okay, they don't have them here. They've all. And incidentally, when you're just trying to find simple things in a department store, sometimes it's almost impossible. Because I just want a black button-down shirt, and we ended up finding one like in the guys section, a little bit. And she goes, "We go to the juniors, where the teenagers are supposed to shop." And I never knew that the junior section of this department store. Have you ever seen the junior section have a maternity section?
No.
Oh, my.
I swear to
That
No.
sign of the time.
Small girls get pregnant, too.
Well, yeah.
Know your customers.
Is it small buzz
I
or
guess.
is it youth?
Well, both, actually. I mean, it could be
All
both.
right. Are you trying to something
Yeah.
funny out of the show? Is
But-
that what
Yes.
you're trying to do?
That's
Thank you.
why I
Thank you,
came
Buzz.
today.
Thanks for coming today.
No, but
All right,
but
anytime.
junior that is fashion that skews young.
Yes.
It's
Right.
not
Yeah.
really a size
Kids.
issue.
No,
it's
I know that
fashion
there.
issue.
I know that there are women that shop, adult women that shop in the petites and the junior section. But to me, to put maternity clothing in the fashion-forward junior section,
Yeah, it's no
just
good.
seemed a little unusual.
Welcome to
today.
the Zit.
The population.
But no, here's my question: Does this is a national chain department store?
Yes.
What does it rhyme with?
Stacy's.
Okay.
and so
Well, no,
they have a big parade.
they cater to.
I can't figure out who it is.
They have a big
Well,
parade.
I can tell you from experience, they cater to the economy within the actual region you're in.
That's
because
true.
I've gone after work to that department store to look for something, and they say, "Look, we don't have that. You have to go to Tyson's Corner."
So I'm not wrong when I say that particular Macy's is a little different than the other.
Oh, it's
Macy's.
a lot of
Could
different.
be regional.
It's not the one you're going to see on 34th Street, Mike. It's a little different.
It's a lot of different.
It's a lot of
It's
different.
a lot of different.
It's a lot of different.
lot of different.
Especially in the men's section too.
It's a lot of different all around because I've spent some time in that Macy's or Stacy.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Not that it matters.
It's very
But they have everything to offer.
Yes.
Right?
Well, they had a whole
For today's happening pregnant teen, sure.
They had like photo shoots set up at the makeup counter too, like they were doing.
Oh, well,
something
they have
there.
that on like a special occasion. You go on Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, they're doing that.
Yeah, they
We
do
wanna-
that.
They do that
Did
to
you
make
get
it look
Did you get a
special.
makeover?
No, I was in and
Because
out
you're
of there.
positively glowing today.
I was in and out of there, but it was like when I'm with my daughters, it's to me like battery chargers for the car. It just gets me full of life.
Sure.
And you guys can relate to this.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You and Mark know what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something where they liven you up. They liven you up and they make you laugh. And their successes rather, are your successes. And I was just proud of her
That's
that
awesome.
she's going to a nice restaurant, and she can do that for the rest of her life when she's in between jobs or when she's studying and getting different degrees and all that wonderful stuff.
And it's
So
a
I was
great
happy
place
about it.
that she's working, right?
Yeah, very
That's
exciting.
cool. That's
And so it was just funny that they pointed that out because once my daughter got early admission to Mary Washington University, my advisor said, "Okay, I've known of students that have gotten their early admission, and they kind of use that as a ticket to go."
Yeah.
And I said, "So study hard, don't flunk out, and don't get pregnant." That
Precisely.
was my idea.
That's her non-bucket list.
That's what I said to her. Preparations for Florida. We're going down. Friday is the departure date. We're all going down there. Have you boys been giving this trip any thought?
Yeah,
or?
I've already packed.
Really?
Ready to go.
And you're ready to go?
Absolutely. How about you?
Nothing. I'm waiting to hear from you guys.
No, I'm packed.
Am I going to have to plan everything down there?
Not at all.
I spent the afternoon, and Shannon's like, "Why are you packing now?" I said, "Because if I don't do it now, it's going to be at 5 in the morning, the morning we're leaving."
I want to right now take this opportunity to go around the room and get the preconceived notions and expectations of Florida. I've been waiting to do this for 3 weeks. I've been meaning. I've been putting this on the list, and I want to hear from each and every one of you. We'll start
fair.
with Mark Ronick. Mark, what are you expecting in Florida?
Mike is going to be great.
Thank you. Let's move on to Mr. Rob Spiewak.
I look forward to taking in a ball game with you.
Okay.
Because, we did that when we were in Maine. We didn't even plan on it. And
You
we had
sang.
a blast. And we sang.
You sang.
I sang. Not as well as Seth MacFarlane, certainly. But also,
Be our guest.
I look forward to many adventures around our area. It's going to require some exploration because I've never been to Florida outside of Disney.
But obviously, whenever there's a trip like this,
Right.
you have thoughts. Now you're looking forward to this. Have you given thoughts to how the week is going to go? Because I've done that with you guys. I've been thinking about it.
I think we're going to see a lot of the same successes we saw in Maine.
Okay.
We're going to naturally.
Well, that's interesting. That's a
we're gonna-
positive outlook.
When we went to Maine, we had never done that as a group.
Right.
And very quickly, we sort of fell into our own little routines and our own roles naturally.
Okay.
Like, for example, Buzz was the guy who lived across the island,
Yes.
happy by himself.
And brought fireworks.
The kindly
I'm curious
hermit.
as to whether Buzz, we're going to have two big SUVs that we're going down there.
Right.
And I'm curious as to whether, Buzz, you were thinking about getting a separate automobile when we were down. Because no one is the loner more than you're the loner. And you like your alone time.
I do.
And
I do.
You need your alone time, and we need it with you.
Understood.
So my thoughts were when you get down there, they don't necessarily, you don't necessarily have to have a car. I think they rent, this is why we have these
really?
discussions. I think they rent scooters.
That's
down there.
exciting. I might jump out.
Like
on
a
that.
Segway scooter or like a Vespa type
Like a regular Vespa.
Like a Vespa.
He'll kill himself.
Well, no.
No, it's a chance we'll take.
Because really the
Wear a
traffic,
helmet, Buzz.
the traffic where we are,
Beach traffic.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 2-lane road in
Right.
and out on either side of this island. My God, what was that?
That was Buzz's scooter coming out.
Wow, that was loud. Sorry, attention deficit disorder.
I'm sure it's
No
fine.
one can hear that. That's listening to the show.
I know, but with the amazing
and
thing
I
is
basically stopped the show for that.
we felt it.
Right,
We
yeah.
didn't hear it as much as we felt. It was a big
so
truck.
you're that's a good positive outlook. I did not have that similar thing.
Really?
No, I feel pressure because even
Nah.
though it's not my house, it is where I live.
Yes.
Down there part of the time, and I feel kind of pressure to show you guys what's happening down
Take
there.
the pressure off yourself. You're going to take us to a game. We're going to go in different groups to that. As happened in Maine, a lot of spur of the moment stuff will happen. We'll decide to do stuff at the last minute. We'll do it. We have work to do. We're going to do a week's worth of shows. We're going to do a Wednesday night meet and greet.
Yes.
But there'll be a lot of things that'll come up along the way. We have a beach. We have a pool. We have people watching. There's a lot going on.
I think there is. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great time, just like in Maine, because as Rob said, when we got there, we didn't really know what to expect, but everybody just decided to do what they knew they could do well.
We fell naturally into our roles.
And when
this-
that happens, it helps everybody out in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then, two, as far as I'm concerned, the only thing I'm dreading is to drive up and drive back, because I've never driven in a vehicle that long without really having space or time to stop.
And the listeners should know that because we have 6-7 guys going.
Yeah.
We are going to do it in one shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are going to take 2-hour shifts.
It probably isn't going to be that bad, but
of
it should be
driving. Well,
interesting.
we'll stop obviously for food and water and to walk Jimmy.
Right.
But the fact is, we're going
pee.
to
Go pee, Jimmy.
Jimmy, come on,
Come on, Jimmy.
stop sniffing.
Good boy.
Stop
Good
sniffing.
boy. He's gone, Mike. We can get back in the car.
Not on the tire.
As far as all of you, is there something in particular
What
down
town
there?
are we going to
that We're
again?
going to Fort Myers, which
Okay.
is on the southwest coast of Florida. Is there anything that you guys in your mind have on a list of what you would want to
Definitely
do? when
gonna
you're
do.
there? Yeah.
You're going to hate me for saying this.
Go ahead.
And as I was packing, Shannon
Something metrosexual,
Yeah,
I'm
she
He wants to
sure.
go to Macy's.
Yeah, Shannon asked. She said, "Why are you packing all that?" And I was packing exercise clothes. She said, "Because the weather's going to be nice and I can go running."
Right.
That's and running on the beach is probably one of the best things you can do, and it's a great way to sightsee as well.
I say let him go.
Yeah,
Keep running.
I'm going to walk on the beach.
Keep running.
I'm going to walk every morning on the beach.
I'll
I'm gonna,
chase
I'm gonna
you.
actually do that.
I'll
because
chase you on
I
the
want to
beach.
do. And I also, are you ready for this?
Yes.
I have. I would like to. This is get those laughs ready.
Yes,
again.
okay. Thanks for the warning.
I really wouldn't mind down there. I don't know where they are down there, but if they are near the beach, I would not mind finding some sort of gym that's close. I'd like to find a gym near the beach. I really would like to find a gym
To
near
do
the
what
beach.
exactly?
To get on the elliptical. I can't. My Achilles is still screwed,
Oh, yeah.
so the
Tender.
actual power walking doesn't work for me. But I really would like to do the elliptical, and I'd like to do a a little weightlifting as well.
Okay.
That's what I'd like
Can
to
we
do.
I'll do that with you.
Can we incorporate that with the listener meet and greet?
Rob, yeah, of course.
Come see
Yes.
Mike lift
Yeah.
weights.
12-ounce weightlifting.
Maybe
That'll
there's
happen.
an outdoor gym.
What about you, Buzz? Is there anything on your bucket list when you're down there?
Well, aside from hanging with you guys,
You're the beachiest of beach guys.
exactly. I think a lot of time you'll find me by the pool with my ukulele.
Perfect.
So you'll
Jesus, I feel nauseous.
the house
Or
we have.
nauseated.
That's how do you think I'm going to get alone time?
The house we have actually has a pool. We're very
Yes.
we're blessed.
Yes,
we're
we
so
are.
blessed.
Yeah.
Buzz's waterproof ukulele.
And but
It floats.
outside of that, where are you guys on like the Everglades?
I
As
wanna
far
do
as-
that.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah,
into that.
absolutely.
I want it to look like the open of CSI Miami. I want to be on the
Dun,
boat.
dun, dun,
Yeah.
What are the dates again?
As far
I
as
know we leave Friday. When do we come back?
we come
Saturday.
back, we come back. We'll
Saturday,
arrive back Saturday, but we leave Friday too.
Yes.
So we-
Friday
all
to
right.
Friday.
We depart
I
Friday
see.
and we leave the following
perfect.
Friday.
Okay.
And there's some baseball there as far as the baseball is concerned. The baseball for me is the greatest interest.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Whoever has the greatest, I've got 4 tickets to 3 games. So
Cool.
everybody that wants to go to a baseball game will be able to go to a baseball game.
There's a
And-
lot to do. We're not going to run. We're going to run out of time before we run out of things to do.
And also gators. You'd express there's like a reptile. Something.
I think one of the
And they're good
things
to eat.
one of the things Carla doesn't like to do when I'm down there, but I'd like to try it again, is to find a legitimate airboat. Like go into the Everglades
Oh, I'd
on
love
an airboat.
that. That would be so cool.
They have different ways. Some people do it where you really go deep into the Everglades. Some of them do it where they own a chunk of land and you kind of go around in a circle on a track, and it's
that's
like
BS.
it's total BS.
Yeah.
And I did that on the only airboat tour I've ever gone on was that kind where you go through, and I just want to go, find a dude with an airboard that's like Deliverance.
Tear up some ecology.
Yeah, you want to cheat death.
I do.
You want to cheat death, Mike?
It should be great. We didn't get to Rob's marshmallows.
And I brought them in. I'll serve them after the show.
So, real quick, yay or nay on them? Do they come out good?
Alton Brown let me down.
Oh, really?
I am not on Alton Brown's team right now.
Really?
I bet he made them complicated.
What he did is he made me do something I could have just bought for 80 cents. What a jerk.
And you went to a baby shower.
Co-ed baby shower.
Hey, sexy. We'll take a break, come back with Rob's Magic Audio Vault right after this. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of our program brought to you by Vistaprint. Business owners know the importance of business cards, and you can get a great deal on them right now. Millions of business owners use Vistaprint because they are affordable and they are easy to create quality, custom business cards. Do it right online. All sorts of designs. I use the designs that are available on the Vistaprint website, and the best part of all, you get them at half the regular price. Thousands of designs and great business cards. Get this offer, 250 cards for just $10. Get it at Vistaprint.com. All you have to do is enter our code TMOS in the search bar. Satisfaction is guaranteed. 250 quality cards with free shipping for $10.
They're giving them away, Mike. They're giving them away.
Can't beat that. Go to Vistaprint.com and enter the code TMOS in the search bar, and we thank you in advance for that.
You.
Let's open up the audio vault for Feb 25, 2013.
Before we begin, I'd like to pass around the successful marshmallows. These I made on Sunday,
right.
so please help yourself.
These are homemade?
Yes, from
Oh,
scratch.
keeping it tight. Take a taste of
No,
one.
those look like garbage.
Come on, take a taste.
You don't
Look
like
at those
marshmallows?
things. No,
Just
I'm not
have
a
a
big
little.
fan. I'm not a big fan.
You don't like marshmallows?
No, I'm not.
That's just goofy.
It's simple. It's corn syrup and sugar, and you beat
You made
the
them
hell
from
out of it. And
scratch?
gelatin, yeah.
Wait,
Well, if
get
you
this-
would've sold them, it
Can you
would've
get
been
this
better.
on camera? You really need to see this.
All right,
I'm
let's see.
putting it over here. Hold on.
Oh my God, they're the chewiest marshmallows around.
And you think those are? You should try the ones from Saturday. You can make a tire out
No, a
of them.
little chewy.
Yeah, but delicious. And you know what? It's really great that I spent all that time. The only thing I can figure out to do with them is I'm going to make Rice Krispie treats. I'm just going to melt them down again.
How Alton Brown's an ass.
Where did this
You're
stem
gonna
from?
need a knife
Because
and
I was
fork.
watching
Network?
I watch Good Eats every day because
Okay.
the TiVo captures it, and Robert was watching it with me, and he said that looks easy. We can do that. I said we can do that.
Oh, that's really nice.
That's
of them.
easy science.
And you, yeah,
They
yeah,
taste
yeah.
great, but they're very,
and
very leathery.
They are leathery. And I said, you know what? There's $8 worth of gelatin in every batch. You can buy a bag of them for $1.
Right.
Don't make homemade marshmallows. Homemade.
How much time did it take?
Not always better. Well, if you count the cooling, it's a 5-hour process.
Oh my God!
But the actual effort, probably about a half hour.
Okay.
So anyway, so don't make marshmallows. It was a good-
I was wrong. I didn't get the what's that line that Jerry Lewis has?
Wait, I think I got a bone.
we certainly shouldn't discuss speaking.
we should speak. I was speaking to you, but you did not speak. We had this conversation. Thank you very much. All right, yeah, good.
Mike, I have horrible news.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
He's got their spit.
They're
Mine
little-
actually has a bone
Poor
chip
guy.
in it.
Well,
Is
that's
it
fine.
really?
That's
Something, yeah.
They're a little
Oh, no.
chemically.
They can't be chemically. All it is corn syrup and sugar, and gelatin.
And by the way, guys,
Oh.
those of you who have eaten some, you may want to wipe your shirts off.
I think you look
yeah.
great.
Oh, damn.
Looks like the '80s over there, Buzz.
Another productive weekend at the Spiewak household.
Hey, we also painted Robert's room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
productive.
something.
And we had the dogs. We had a baby play date.
Yeah, that's true.
Puppy play date.
Baby play day.
Really, if
Puppy.
somebody could pass me a piece of paper and napkin, that'd be awesome.
I don't have any paper towels on my side.
All right, get to the audio vault, Slick.
Mike, very bad news coming out of Las Vegas.
What happened to Wayne?
The Las Vegas estate of entertainer Wayne Newton is up for sale amid uncertainty over what potential buyers will get. He's having to sell Casa de Shenandoah.
Oh, no.
That bums
That's
me
What
out.
has the world come to?
That bums me out. I mean, he was like one of the original rich guys.
Yeah.
That's not right.
And you know what the problem is, Mike, is that he had such a lavish lifestyle.
On an estate he named Casa de Shenandoah, peacocks and black swans strolled the ground.
Got the opening for tomorrow.
He piloted his own helicopter and began breeding expensive Arabian horses on 50,000 acres of ranch land.
Well, see.
It was a style of spending that would almost ruin him.
Almost.
But Newton still coveted the one thing that would cement his standing in Las Vegas, his own hotel. In 1980, he decided to buy the lavish Aladdin Hotel.
It fell through.
Oh, dear.
And Mike, I also want you to know what? He's a guy that likes big ideas that don't always pan out. plans to convert Casa de Shenandoah into a theme park celebrating Newton's career.
Oh no!
Collapsed last year.
It was
Listen,
sure.
wait a minute.
Of course it
as
did.
somebody,
my God.
somebody who had a restaurant
Yes.
and didn't lose money on it, but certainly did not reap the windfall of having cemented my retirement.
Right.
I mean, that happens to you once, and I would think that's it. But I guess if
All
you've got
the time.
if you've got ego that is so significant, and everybody keeps coming to you, hey Wayne, you ought to be the Wayne Newton Hotel. You ought to turn it into a theme park. Come on, dude.
A theme park celebrating his career.
Bring the
my
kids.
God.
Come on to the Here's Lucy roller coaster.
Casa de Shenandoah. This is fantastic. Check out the Wayne Cups.
Hey, what's going on with these like eccentric entertainers when they build their compounds? You've got Never Neverland. You've got this place. There's like 3 other guys that like build these like massive compounds.
I have a theory on that, and this did not happen when I got the restaurant because I didn't have. I didn't have sycophants. I didn't have people that was like, yeah, do that, go ahead. I just did that because I met a guy and an opportunity presented itself, and I paid nothing for my restaurant. Relatively speaking, I really did. We didn't spend a lot of money on
good.
it. And in the long run, I didn't make a lot of money on it. I didn't lose any money. I made a little money, and that's at the end of that. And to come out on the other side of that is
Lucky.
pretty.
Yeah,
Well,
lucky,
everything I
Extremely
did,
lucky.
everything I did at that restaurant. And this was not necessarily a great business model either. Everything I did was, based on profits. I put the profits that I made early on when the place was kicking ass, and all of you were there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I did that, and I put it back in. I would have gone easier on that because if you see places that hang on, you don't fix or change or update
Every
any
little
little thing because that can hurt you as well.
The big mistake is when you took that initial profit and started to build O'Maraland. The theme park celebrating Mike O'Mara's career.
Yeah, so you see a guy do this kind of stuff, and he's surrounded probably by people going, you know what would be great, Wayne?
You're so talented.
because they know it's easy. Put your name on it, and then he goes, I think that's a great idea.
And especially since he can't sing anymore.
Right, and then you see other entertainers that. Really, you go back to guys like Bing Crosby and Bob Hope that just did little real estate deals where their names weren't even on it. You didn't know.
Oh, do you know
And
why
they
Bob
made,
Hope
they made millions.
Do you know why Bob Hope is so rich? He sold the land to Disney for Disneyland.
Yeah.
He owned all that.
Yeah, he's.
But you don't hear that.
You don't hear about that.
I did not know
and
that.
that's because they get in with people that are more about success and making money than they are.
About the attention.
Sucking with the celebrities.
I just hope whoever buys Casa de Shenandoah, Mike, lets the guinea hens run free. And I hope we can speak to Wayne tomorrow.
Very good.
I hope so.
forward to it.
It should be fun.
When you're putting together a budget, how much money do you allow for drugs?
Oh, half my budget.
Yeah, because they asked Steven Tyler about that. He was on Australian 60 Minutes, and this is his estimate on his drug use career long.
Was it true that you think that you blew something like $20 million on drugs?
No, probably realistically, 5 or 6. Easy. But it doesn't matter. You could also say I've snorted half of Peru.
So by his estimates, $6 million he spent on drugs. And like when the doctor asks how much do you drink every week, I'd say you can easily double that.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow, that's pretty shocking though.
Yeah. But he still.
But it's not just him too.
But
He's
he
buying
still
it for
owns
the
his-
band and all that
He
stuff.
still owns his own house.
How's he still alive?
There's a guy that he's on our YouTube page. He's from Brazil. He's one of Oscars, and he says he's going to sing the scales.
How about the way that sounds?
One of Oscar's what?
He's one of yours.
Yeah.
He's in Brazil.
Brazil, Bolivia,
Yeah, same thing. And so he's going to sing the scales. But Mike, remember when we're doing the act and
Yeah.
you say how we have perfect pitch?
Right.
This guy does not have perfect pitch.
Oh, dear.
I want to have you hear this guy sing the scales against his piano.
Oh, wrong. Wrong.
Same note every time.
Find that note. It ain't on there.
No.
Is this guy challenged?
No, he's not.
Really?
He
Oh,
seems
come on.
normal. I have one
Seems.
other. He seems normal. No, he doesn't have the look. I actually went to the tape to see, and he only said one other thing. He said,
Hey, this is Eric Ronick from Black Gold.
I'm kidding. It wasn't Eric at all.
How's Eric doing? Is Eric going to have another record anytime
Yeah,
soon?
Eric's doing okay, and he may join his old band that he used to tour with a little bit.
Oh, I have a tape of them.
They are Panic at the Disco.
Ah, wow.
And he may go around and tour with them for a little while.
Really? Really?
Yeah,
They
but
just
they're
released
not
a new
letting
album,
him
right?
sing based on this tape.
I think he sounds good.
Is Black Gold still on
Yeah, he's just this is a very successful group that he has a lot of
Yeah,
experience
Panic at
with.
Disco is huge.
Yeah, they are.
And so it's
What about-
steady
My
income.
daughters
What
listen
about-
to Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
But what about Tan?
Well, Tom will not join them for that per se, but Black Gold is still alive and
You
well.
know, you're relentless.
How do you mean?
You're relentless because you're talking about the one Asian guy in the band, aren't you?
Well, there's only 2 people in the band.
You
Well,
are
they
just
have other-
you are so relentless.
I just want to make sure he's okay.
He's
are
good.
terrible.
No, I'm not.
Somebody beat you up in an opium den someday. Is that what happened
The
to you?
sad thing is, Mike, I didn't feel it.
And I
because
just
I was so
and
high.
I just played into it by making my own racist statement there. All right, keep going, you
right.
doofus. Okay, we get it.
You know who's doing better? Ron Jeremy is doing better.
Oh,
good.
It was
So
one of the
great.
worst operations you can ever have. My doctor's a genius. Harder than a bypass, harder than a replacement. This thing is called an aortic dissection. They said to me at the clinic that if you can walk up 2 flights of stairs, you're able to have sex. I walked up 2 flights of stairs and 3 additional stairs just to overly buffer it. You know?
Yeah, so he's going to bone.
Yeah, he's ready.
He's ready to bone.
He's back.
Did they ever say? Did they ever say whether the boning had anything to do with his health issues?
No, it was a heart issue, so I
Right.
don't
But
think-
I mean, no.
Well, it could be.
You can have dental problems, and it can affect your ticker.
That is true.
So any extremity.
Any bacteria that enters
yeah.
through
I'm
the
thinking,
mouth.
thank you, Buzz. Any bacteria that Mr. Burbank just cemented it.
bad
Any
pipes?
bacteria that enters through the mouth. Bingo.
Years of clean living, Mike, and look at him now.
Just a guess.
We close with Jimmy Kimmel did his post-Oscar special last night. I was, of course, asleep long before that. I went
I
to
wonder,
bed
I
after
wonder what
death
the
row.
ratings were on that. I don't think anybody watched
But
that.
he did make one interesting comment about John Travolta that I enjoyed.
In case you're wondering how to pronounce the name of the musical Hugh Jackman starred in this year, you pronounce it like this.
Les Miserables.
Could we have that one more time?
Les Miserables.
Thank you, John Travolta.
He made it Spanish.
Les Miserables. That can't...
That, Mike, that is your magic audio ball. Thank you, Rob. We'll take a break, come back with Buzz and News right after this. Everybody.
You know I can be fine. Sitting home all alone.
Hey. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Let's waste no time whatsoever. Get right to it. Here is the man that, along with Oscar Santana, enjoyed every moment of the Oscar telecast. Mr. Buzz Burbank, take it away, Buzz.
Thank you, Mike. We're brought to you today by Tall Weeds. In the mid-'90s, Steve Huey went from being a police detective in Houston to wearing a helmet as a UN peacekeeper in what had been Yugoslavia. He found a land where murder is not a crime but a sport, where the weeds are tall to hide the mines, and he learned the local legend of a vast fortune of diamonds and gold hidden in the mountains of Sarajevo. That is how Steve Huey came to write about a deadly treasure hunt in his new book, Tall Weeds. Get it through our Amazon page or at twodogsbarkingpress.com. Tall Weeds by Steve Huey. A 14-year-old is still in critical condition after that big multi-car wreck at Daytona on Saturday. The only other person who got life-threatening injuries has since stabilized. 7 people have been released from hospitals, with 7 others still laid up. 28 people were hurt in all.
You know, I watched the wreck, and I'm not really sure how you're going to have the kind of access that NASCAR fans want and make any kind of changes that would ensure safety. I mean, it's just part of the game. You've got cars going 200 miles per hour.
Right.
They're going to go airborne occasionally, and there's sections of that track where it's just a fence.
The fans know it's dangerous. They are not going to let you take away from them the experience of being that close to the track. They are talking about making the fence taller, as some debris went, I heard, 40 rows up.
Yeah, and I think
stand.
that alone probably is. I just thinking about it, that's probably what they're going to be able to do, and they need to do.
Yes.
But it's a drag, but it's what people want.
Yeah,
they go
it is.
there.
Yeah, they're
you
not gonna
go
give it
there
up.
to watch the race, but you go there to see a wreck.
Yeah, and how
Absolutely.
many people went to the web when they heard about it to look for the video?
Instantly,
Yeah,
everybody.
and it's certainly, as much as they're going fast, the television cameras, even with in-car cameras that you see, it amazes me how little sense of speed you get when you watch it on television.
I'm that way every time I look at your in-car camera that you put up on the internet.
Everybody says that in NASCAR, and I've never been, that the only way to really appreciate it is to actually go, and then it's a totally different experience.
We went to just for like it was a marketing trip for Man Great when we were thinking of getting into NASCAR. We went to Homestead, and we got a chance to be down in the pits.
That's Florida, right?
Yeah, in Florida. Yeah. And I sat there and I said, you know, you never think that these cars are going this fast. The same thought you had. Yeah, because when they blow,
there's nothing television can do to show the speed.
When they blow by inches apart and they're going almost 200 miles an hour,
right?
You're blown. You can feel it. Your whole body feels them go by you.
They mic it now, and it gets better. I mean, in fairness to the television coverage of NASCAR, they make an effort to make it faster, to make it better every year. And the only thing audio-wise that I enjoy with NASCAR is when there's one shot that is not only well photographed, but it's well mic'd, and you hear they start the race, and you hear the cars go, and that's the individual cars that are coming by. Yeah. Pretty amazing stuff.
They could improve it if they had Seth MacFarlane.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
I like it better already.
Yeah.
Amazingly, no drivers were hurt in the 12-car crash, and the fence that separates the fans from the track was rebuilt in time for yesterday's 500. Florida, meanwhile, sponsored 2 cars in yesterday's big race to promote safety. The Florida Transportation Department spent nearly $175,000 in federal highway money to sponsor 2 stock cars in this year's Daytona 500. Florida officials say traffic accidents always spike in the week surrounding the annual championship race, and Florida leads the nation in pedestrian deaths at a rate double the national average. But it's a controversial expenditure. Supporters say it gets the safety message out to a lot of people. Critics say no one really sees the message and all that excitement.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, those sponsorships are so ridiculous.
Yeah, and you have to spend so much money. A great example is 5 Hour Energy. They started off with a little quarter panel of a car. Depending on the team and the car, could cost you $250,000, depending on who you're dealing with. And then now 5 Hour Energy is a prime sponsor of an entire car.
And that's the way you get noticed. I mean, if you're GoDaddy, you know that's Danica's car. Yeah. You see that if you're DuPont. You know that for a while that
Home
was
Depot,
Jeff Gordon. Home Depot for Tony Stewart. You know, you know these, Jimmy Johnson.
Goodies.
It's...
Doesn't Goodies have a car?
Goodies,
Yeah,
that
I
ain't
think they
Powders.
do, yeah.
And remember, that's Powders plural.
That's right, Mike.
Driving is at any speed just out of the question in Wichita, Kansas, and much of Oklahoma as a second winter storm moves through. Wichita got a crippling 14 inches on Thursday, and today another foot of snow expected on top of that. But today's storm's actually worse because it brings high winds, possibly forming drifts of up to 6 feet deep. Roads, schools, and government centers are closed in southeast Kansas, Oklahoma, and the Texas Panhandle. Airports closed as well. Denver is still recovering from the 18 inches it got yesterday.
How's the family doing out there?
Very well. I just checked in with Dad last night and checked in with him the other day when they got the first foot of snow. They're all stocked up. They went out for the usual bread, milk, and toilet paper run on yesterday, the day before yesterday, just to get ready for this latest storm.
Buzz's dad's one question was, when can you come out and shovel?
That was his first question, actually.
Shout out to all our good friends in Wichita. Hope you get through this snow. We got so many listeners in Wichita, Kansas.
Right.
I hope they get through this storm okay.
Absolutely.
Now, so isolate that and give it to the guy.
That's right.
Thank
you know what to do.
I'm on it.
$85 billion will be cut from the federal budget starting Friday. Is that bad? Will we notice? Will it hurt?
We'll notice here in D.C.
Yeah, I think so. Everyone agrees it's a ham... That's that guy again.
Because he noticed.
Everyone agrees. Speaking of ham-handed, everyone agrees it's a ham-handed way to cut spending, but most Republican lawmakers are okay with it. They figure sloppy budget cutting is better than no budget cutting at all. But the White House is busy painting a grimmer picture. It's dispatched cabinet secretaries to the Sunday morning shows yesterday to warn of dire consequences.
Dispatched his wife to the Academy Awards.
Republicans say this is trumped-up drama to make them look bad, but the White House is warning of flight delays because of personnel cutbacks in security and air traffic control.
So what?
It's warning of possible layoffs of some 40,000 teachers.
Now that's the part I don't like.
Right. It's warning of fewer vaccination for kids and less treatment of AIDS, and it's warning that tax refunds will be delayed and that tax cheaters will get away because these cutbacks even affect the IRS.
Cheaters never prosper, Mike.
You know, I've heard a lot of people say we have to make cuts at some point anyway, and this is a tough way to do it, but that maybe most Americans aren't going to realize really notice. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm hearing that as well.
That'd be
We'll
good.
soon see. Once again, it gets down to the issue of taxing the rich. Republicans proposed cutbacks that are less ham-handed than what's scheduled for Friday, but Democrats rejected those plans because they protect tax breaks for the wealthy. Democrats have proposed budget cuts balanced by higher taxes on the rich, but Republicans have rejected tax increases of any kind, even though that's what's favored by most Americans. Finally, it might be the surveillance video of the year if we ever get to see it. A 24-year-old man named Jose Angel Perales Jr. is allegedly the guy in this video. In Davenport, Iowa, Jose apparently got naked first, then broke into a lingerie store, then spent 2 hours trying on the delicate undergarments. At the end of the 2 hours, he put on a blonde wig and a dress and left. Although we have a legal system in place to sort this all out, we're pretty sure it's Jose, judging from the large tattoo on his back that spells out his last name, Perales. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Thank you, Buzz. That's it. We got to get out of here. More tomorrow that we didn't get to today, and we thank you for joining us. Our show is brought to you by the Spring Break Road Trip. We're taking it in 1 week.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the Institute for Liberty and their partner, Fan Freedom. Your right to independently buy and sell tickets is under attack. They can help you at the Institute for Liberty and Fan Freedom. You bought it, you own it. That's what they're telling you. Protect consumer rights and your property rights. Visit fanfreedom.org. The Institute for Liberty and their partners at Fan Freedom are pushing back against the efforts to not allow you to own what you buy in Florida, Tennessee, California, and across the country. Visit fanfreedom.org and learn more about the Institute for Liberty. Got to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.